I'm Elise Dodeles. Welcome to my studio. I just want to talk a little bit about my influences, and then I'll go ahead and paint. Over here, I've put a lot of how I get inspired. I've got images of my family, personal photographs that inspire me, and some rather disgusting pictures too, of like surgeries and skin diseases. These are images I've taken from scrapbooks of Hermann Goring that I found at the university where I work. We have scrapbooks from the Adolf Hitler collection. And again, personal images. Another group of photographs I found at the university I work at of mostly anonymous San Francisco area fighters. And I did a series of their portraits based on the photographs. So that's, as you can see, I kind of collected these over the years. Anything that strikes my fancy and also touches me as this does. And I try to utilize as many of these images that I'm affected by in my work. I've also been heavily influenced by the German Expressionists, and that's something I've really used here in this image called Shiro. It's a term I heard the other night, and I was intrigued by it. It's a hero. And another great source for me has been books about P.T. Barnum, because I really see the other in the sideshow figures, the so-called freaks. And I sort of have a lot of empathy when I look at the photographs of them. And I used a picture from one of the books of Annie Jones, the bearded woman, in this image here. And I have sort of a Jesus-like figure next to her. This morning I'm going to start a blank canvas, which is always the scariest thing for me. I was really inspired by this color lithograph from a book I got at a local public library at a book sale there. A beautiful color lithograph from this book of Dickens stories. So what appeals to me so much about this image is the idea of protection. So I'm going to use that as my starting point, and I'm going to go ahead and add to it some of my love for the sideshow figure here with the extra large fingers and some of that skin condition here. And as far as the child figure, most likely I will use images that I have of my partner as a child. She's, well, here she is, a blue-eyed, blonde-haired, beautiful child. So I use, if you could get my palette on there, you could see one of the dirtiest palettes probably ever. I've given up trying to clean my palette. I did that for 20 odd years, clean it every time I use it. But now I've given up on that, and I just basically throw it out when it becomes unbearably dirty. And what I like to do to sort of get rid of the fear of starting a new canvas, I like to do is just throw a little color on it. Becomes less fearsome to me that way. And so I'll just go ahead and do that. And I'll kind of feel my way at first as to what I want to do. and how I want to do it. The big part of this for me will be the way the figure is holding the child, and specifically the hands. So what I'll do is try to get in here and put some of that, some of the fingers in fairly quickly once I can gauge where I'm going to place them. And just like a traditional painter, because I studied in a very traditional place, the New York Academy of Art. So basically I start big to small, large areas first, and then from there work in more detailed areas. And the nature of this lithograph is exaggerated, so that's what I'm going to do. Kind of exaggerate and key up colors a bit more than I would maybe ordinarily. And while I was gazing through this book on P.T. Barnum, I came across a man, one of the sideshow figures, who had an enlarged head. So I think that would make a fine addition to this. So I'll put that in. And as far as the child, I'll go ahead and more than likely they'll have some kind of skin problem. So some of that will be shown.